Right, hello everyone. I'm here today with Kieran. So, Kieran, could you just tell us a little bit about yourself, firstly?
Yeah, so people that know me, I'm part of the media team for Stourbridge and also Stourbridge Women. I've been doing that for God knows how long now, like plenty of years. Yeah, it's a really fun role. I enjoy it a lot. It's got me some great opportunities in and around football. Um, but yeah, well, apart from that, I do a bit of social media handling for other people as well. I organise my own football charity match event currently, which is going really well. So yeah, I'm a busy guy. It's fair to say.
And so, what got you into football and especially non-league and the lower leagues with Stourbridge?
Yeah, yeah. My journey into football is kind of a strange one because I was never like one of those kids in primary school that was that into football. Like it just never really interested me. And then my first ever match was Stevenage in the FA Cup away.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you the year to be honest with you. I want to say I was about 12, so whenever that is.
Okay.
Um, but I didn't start properly coming to matches until maybe around 2016. I want to say with Stourbridge, and it's always just been Stourbridge that's drawn me to football. I love the grassroots nature of it. I love the sort of authenticness, like the realness of it. Like yourself, I do dabble in a bit of West Brom from time to time, but yeah, it just doesn't click with me like Stourbridge does. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
just something about that place. I love it, and yeah, it's a pleasure to be involved in everything that I'm involved with the club.
So, how would you describe your job at Stourbridge and what does it entail?
It's a bit of everything to be fair. I struggle to like give myself a proper definition of a role because it's a lot of things. So my main one, which is what I first started as, is the Instagram admin. Um, we sort of have a great media team at Starbridge, so we're able to offer like different people different roles. So we've got a different guy doing our Facebook, Beck, who I'm sure a lot of you probably know, does our Twitter, and I'm the Instagram guy. So it takes the workload off a lot of us. So yeah, I'll run that, do all the graphics and things like that. Yeah, all the posts on there. Alongside that, I do the YouTube as well. So I'm uploading the interviews or conducting the interviews sometimes as well. Me and Beck alternate on them. Um, so yeah, I record them, post them, stick them up. And just recently, I've started doing the stadium announcing as well, the whole PA system, playing the music. I did that start like, throughout last season with the women, which was a real great opportunity for me. And then just recently, as of the start of this year, this calendar year, I've started doing that with the men's side as well, and I'm really enjoying it. And I think it's going quite well. So yeah, there's a lot on my plate. Yeah, there's probably some other things I am forgetting as well because I do get up to quite a bit down there. Like if I'm not in my house, I'm down there. Like it's just one of them places where you can go. But yeah, that's me.
Yeah, obviously from doing a lot of stuff with the Waterwood previously, I obviously know, obviously doing like 50,000 things at once, how hard it can be. So, what would you say, just to give the viewers a bit of an insight, how would you say that your match day looks? Because obviously, I assume that you can't just sit in the warm or sit in the bar with a
Yeah,
pint, just go, come on, the Stour.
no, absolutely not, absolutely not. I'm one of those people that likes to get there ridiculously early to the ground. So if we got a game at like 3 o'clock, I'm there at like 12:30. So yeah, I'm just going down there. To be fair, that at that period, it's very calm. Sometimes players haven't even got there yet, so you can just sit in the bar and have a chat with people. Um, so then yeah, around sort of half one-ish, I want to say, stick the music on, do a few announcements of whatever needs to be said. And then yeah, go out onto the pitch, capture some content of some of the lads, some photos and videos and things like that, of like the warm-ups and that. Um, and then yeah, and then as soon as they come out, I'm sort of having to stand in my little bit. I don't know what you call it, my little corner.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I can just do my mic, change the music, whatever. Do Instagram updates if I need to. Um, yeah, and then straight after full time, sort of if we win, I like to do a sort of capturing a few videos of the lads sort of coming in. They love it as well. They get really into it. And then straight into the manager's office, record the interviews, and then there we go, party time into the bar. It's always better when we win in there, and it's great.
Obviously, at our age, it can be seen, obviously us being on the younger side, it can be seen as a little bit, oh, okay, it's quite interesting how obviously that 16, 17, 18-year-old lad has got into a job at a football club, because I'm sure for yourself, because obviously when I go around and I used to say, oh yeah, I worked for a football club, some people are obviously a little bit interested into how it started. So how did you get involved in obviously doing the Instagram and everything that you do now at Stourbridge?
Yeah, so it's a crazy story, really. So we had our record FA Cup run, which we reached the third round proper.
Yeah.
Third round proper. I've got a flag beyond. It's a third round proper. I just double check that. I don't want to get that messed up. But we reached the third round proper, which is the highest point we've ever been. We played Wickham away. We lost to an Adebayo Akinfenwa header, believe it or not. That bloke haunts me to this day. After that, I just logged on Instagram because I was like, what was I, maybe like 15, I want to say. Had my own Instagram account, obviously, but I was looking on Instagram to see if anyone was sort of posting anything about the match, because obviously it's a historic moment in the club, and just no one was doing it. So there was nothing, no sort of coverage on the match on Instagram. So I sort of took it upon myself to create what at that point was more of like a fan page sort of thing, nothing official, where I'd post, your updates that you're getting on Twitter, but just sort of on Instagram, so people get to see them. That was good. I did that for probably maybe 2 or 3 years just by myself. And then Andy Poutney, the chairman, his daughter got in contact with me and was like, the chairman has seen what you've been doing on Instagram. I think it's great. Wants to sort of get you involved in the actual team, the media team that we've got here. So invited me down to have a chat with him. Did that, and it was brilliant. It's all gone from there, really. I think it's just absolutely grown. Obviously, I've been given way more responsibilities now of different things, it's great. It's just incredible to see how it's grown from where I started it, really.
As you mentioned, you've had chats with people like the chairman, and I'm sure a bunch of other people, and obviously getting to know the lads and everything. But from inside the club perspective, what would you say non-league and those clubs at the lower leagues need a little bit more of?
What do they need more of? I don't know. To be fair, like I enjoy really like the I don't know how to word it, like the like I said earlier, I guess like the authenticity of it, like the realness that it has. Like it's not, when you're coming to Stourbridge, you're not going to see your Premier League standard. There's not going to be a fireworks show beforehand. There's not going to be a million different cameras pointing in every direction. It's just like, it's very simple. It's very down to earth, and that's what I enjoy about it. Like, and I think if you lose that, if you try and take that away from your club, it can become almost very separate, almost very robotic as well. And I think that's definitely something at Stourbridge that we have purposefully tried to keep. So I think what we're doing now works very well for us. I would really hate to see it change from anything that we have currently, really.
So then, as a follow-up from that, as a volunteer, and obviously I'm sure you've got a very busy schedule, so how would you say that you manage to balance both your life, as in like Kieran, and then football and Stourbridge Kieran?
Yeah, I think like I said earlier, it's very important that we've got a good team around us. So it's not me doing everything, because that would get very overwhelming. It's great that we're able to spread the responsibilities between 2 or 3 different people. So it's quite easy, to be fair. Like, obviously weekends I prioritize football because I enjoy it, I love it. But then your evenings that you've got free, I'm able to go to the pub, go to wherever I want to go. And when weekdays I can do whatever I want to do then as well. So yeah, it's I find it quite easy, to be honest, because I haven't got that massive sort of workload on me.
And then obviously with the rise of things such as like social media and X or Twitter or whatever we're going to call it nowadays, and obviously
Yeah.
you saying that you started off being just an Instagram fan page, obviously at a young age, how do you think it is now seeing a lot more young people that are getting recognised and getting put into the job roles, especially in terms of things like sports and football, where probably like 10 or 20 years ago it was pretty much unheard of?
Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's really, really good. I've always said that I think non-league is an amazing entry point for anyone that's looking to get into almost any aspect of football, whether that's like your coaching, your physiotherapy, your media people. I think it's an excellent way to really get into it early and showcase your skills and be able to build your skills. And yeah, I think it's an excellent way to do that. Um, it's helped me getting involved at a young age to figure out what I want to do as a career full term, um, and sort of what needs to be sort of changed in the way that I do things, and yeah, the processes and how I do things. I think it's really, really important that you learn those at a young age, so you've got that skill set and that experience. Yeah, it's really important, I think.
So then, obviously, following yourself joining Stourbridge from your Instagram page, how would you say that your personal journey and development has been? Obviously, going through non-league football and especially with Stourbridge.
Yeah, I think it's helped me massively. I think it's very sort of homely at Stourbridge. So I've become I would say I've become a lot more confident talking to random people about football. You know what I mean? Like it helps me. I guess people skills is what you describe it as. Um, Definitely, I think that's been a massive help from Stourbridge. And yeah, sort of just yeah becoming like I say, figuring out what I want to do, like what drives me in life, what I have an interest in, what I have a passion in, and what I ultimately want to be doing as a sort of a full-time career, I guess.
So, how would you describe then, obviously, watching both the football progress and yourself progress? How would you describe this season so far for yourself and Stourbridge?
I think off the pitch we are better than we've ever been media wise and things like that. I think we're sort of at the top of our game at the moment. I think Beck is doing a tremendous job with everything that she does on TikTok and Twitter and things like that. And I also think the Instagram is thriving at the moment. I think some of the content I'm putting out. I like to keep a lot of it updated. I like to do multiple posts a day when I'm able to. A few years ago, it would be sort of match day, full time result, nothing until the next match day. Things like that. Um, so I like to keep it very, very moving, very current, and I think it's working really, really well. On the pitch, I think we've had our struggles this season. I think it's not been an easy one. Um, yeah, I think there's a few things that have gone wrong for us. But I think especially recently we've had a very tough patch, but I think we've dealt with it quite well. And I think coming into the back end of the season, I think maybe I don't want to say sneak playoffs because it is a long way away when you look at it. But I think if you're in the top half of the table, given the run that we've had around the sort of Christmassy period, I think we'll take that. I think we'll hold our heads high with that.
As you mentioned earlier, there's obviously a lot more authenticity to non-league. Obviously, like you can hear the players and you can hear them shouting whatever they shout down at Stourbridge or wherever. So, how would you describe non-league? Would you say to someone like, so say for instance, like myself, if I'm an avid West Brom fan, like I was at the Black
Yeah.
Country Derby on Sunday. So, say for instance, I came down to Stourbridge or any non-league game. How would you describe non-league and Stourbridge compared to obviously people who go to watch the Premier League or the Championship?
Yeah, I think it's brilliant. I think non-league is absolutely fantastic. I think it's vital for the top end of football that it exists. you wouldn't have your top level teams, I don't think, if you didn't have this pyramid infrastructure in place behind it. Obviously, you go to Stourbridge, you go to places like this at that level, you're not going to see amazing football on display. It's not going to be your Premier League, even Championship quality. But I think also, if you're purely there for the football, I think you're almost doing it wrong as well. I can't count the amount of times that we've had tremendous away days, like going to 3 hours away on a coach, stopping off a pub on the way there, or like the services or whatever, and then the football's let it down, right? But it's still been an incredible day because it's the people that you're there with, it's the experiences that you're having. It's unique, there's so many times that certain problems that would probably get me in trouble if I said them in public that you wouldn't get to hear. You wouldn't get to hear about at like the top Premier League level. It's great. I couldn't recommend it enough. If someone is listening to this and they've never experienced a non-league match, I can't, say how much I would recommend it. And I wouldn't say just go, because like I said, I think if you're there just for the football, you're missing out, because I think it's important that you get stuck into it and if you wanna have a footballing career, speak to someone about getting involved in something to do, or just speak to the players in the bar at full time, speak to the manager, speak to the chairman, whatever. Like, just get properly involved and embrace it, and you'll end up loving it.
Obviously, with the job role that you're in as well, with things like non-league, do you think that they rely on things such as yourselves in terms of a social media presence to help drive things like attendance and people towards supporting that club alongside or even instead of a team like West Brom or a local football side to them?
Yeah, I think so. I think with lower league teams, a lot of their revenue will come from things like sponsorships. So like gate receipts maybe won't have much of a bearing on the sort of money that they're making. Sponsorships are absolutely massive. They pay for pretty much everything. Your wages, your renovations to buildings and things like that. So yeah, I think having social media and being able to show these sponsors off and get their names out there, I think it's something that the brands themselves appreciate, but also the club appreciates, because you are helping them get money essentially. Whereas with your Championship sides, Premier League sides, I would assume a lot of that comes from player sales, where you're selling a 50 million quid striker, or like that can pay for anything that you need to be done. Whereas non-league, obviously you do get your instances where players move for your big bucks, but it's not as common. So I think sponsorships and things like that come via social media are what is sort of integral to keeping a club alive.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm aware that you're organising charity football matches. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So how would you say it is, especially being in a football club like Stourbridge, to then going off and doing your own thing? Do you reckon that's helped you at all in terms of being able to organise these matches?
Yeah, definitely. So the charity event that I'm currently doing is called Awareness Surroundings Man Club. I got involved in it last year. We did our first event last year. We're doing a second one this year. And yeah, I think when I first got involved, I messaged the guy who was sort of originally organising it. And I was their sort of social media admin, so making sure everything's up to date on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, things like that. Actually, I'm like, we only had Instagram at that point. That's something that we've leveled up for this year, including those other social medias. So yeah, I think it was important to me to come into that role with the social media experience that I have, the skills that I have of graphic design, and when things can go out, and knowing the algorithms and things like that. I think it was really important for that match that we publicised it well, especially with the type of event it is. It's got a lot of influencers and TikTokers and YouTubers and things like that in it. That social media is such a a massive part of the exposure that we're going to get in the branding of it, that it needed to be done right. So I think with the years of experience I had prior to that, it really helps drive the success of that event. And I think even in a year's difference that we've had from the last one to this one, you can see the level up and you can see how we've improved. And that's because I've had that experience both with organising this event, but also things like the football club that have helped me explore different avenues. And we, like I say, we've moved on to Facebook and Twitter, and learning things like that, which is a whole different ball game to things like Instagram. It's really, really important that I have those skills and are able to sort of transfer them into a different sort of almost different line of work, but still, social media managing wise.
And obviously coming up to charity games, I'm sure you've probably got a few big hitters in there which you may or may not be allowed to name drop. Obviously, I'm not sure if how many have been announced yet, but would you say I'm not? I don't really want to say humble, because I don't believe that humble is the right word to use in this scenario. But would you say that for those who obviously are influencers, and those who people look up to and idolise, for them to be coming to, I assume, non-league grounds and obviously playing there and looking at the facilities that they've got there, how would you say they react to it in terms of, this is non-league and it's not like the Olympic
Yeah,
Stadium in terms of like West Ham, where obviously the sidemen held their game?
yeah, yeah. It's crazy. Last year we did one. It's a place called North Ferriby. It's sort of near Hull sort of way, which was where our first one was, and that was a very non-league stadium, to say the least. No flashy equipment, no 20,000 seater stadiums. It was very, very non-league, is the way to put it. But it was great. I love those sort of stadiums. It's compact. It holds a nice atmosphere. And yeah, like you say, people with millions of followers coming down to that. But like, the thing that I found is and the thing that I've learned through doing these is, you hear it all the time, like, these people are just normal people. They're not really that asked about who's where you're playing, and what the attendance is going to be like. They're just here to have a good time, play some football, raise money for charity. And yeah, it's really, really good that the boys are sort of as involved in it as they are, because they're all absolutely hyped for it. They all love it. We're doing this year's one at Ilkeston, which is a bit of a step up. I don't know if you've ever been to Ilkeston yourself. It's a really, really nice facility. It's a 4G pitch. It's got proper seated stadium stands. It's a really, really nice ground for the level. Stourbridge used to actually be in their league, so I've been there a few times myself. So yeah, we've leveled up a tiny bit. But then, when we're inviting people, like we've got Ethan Bazinga from the Sidemen coming down, and Cal the Dragon, Danni Aaron's, Angry Ginge, people like that. But like I said, they love it. I think they appreciate, or it's almost like that non-league where, like, you can speak to the striker in the bar afterwards. It's like, if Angry Ginger's chilling on the sideline, he's not come on yet. You can have a word with him. You can have a photo with him. It's like that, and I think the guys appreciate that because they're appreciative of their own supporters themselves.
No, I think it's really interesting what you've said there, in terms of obviously, like, they are just normal people, because obviously they see, like, on YouTube or whatever it is that they do, like, let's take Cal the Dragon or Danni Aaron's, for example. They've like risen from the ground and all of a sudden just gained millions and millions of followers on TikTok or YouTube subscribers. But about 5 or 6 years ago, like, who were they to people? Like, they were just unheard of. And I think it's really good how, I think, especially with charity events like what you're holding, you can raise awareness for a charity and help raise money for the charity, but also raise profile for both the football club of which you're holding it, and also the people who are also in it, but not in an egotistical way. If that
Yeah,
because
yeah, no, definitely.
because it's going to be good for their profile to be able to go, okay, well, I went here and I played in this charity match and I enjoyed myself.
Yeah, no, exactly. Ilkeston are great. They've hosted quite a few charity matches in their time. Actually, I think they've got one coming up just before ours as well. So yeah, they're absolutely fantastic. And like I say, I think it gives them a good name as one of these places that are open to hosting these, because you believe it or not, you get ones that charge crazy amounts for renting the pitch, and have their own sort of set of rules that you need to follow, otherwise it's not going to work. Whereas Ilkeston are very laid back with it. They understand it quite well. They know the demographic of people that's coming down, and they know that we probably understand it better in a way, that the people organising know what they're doing, and they're letting us do pretty much free reign. So yeah, I can't say thank you enough for them for letting us do what we want to do. It's great, and like you say, with the lads as well, I think it's so good that they're all coming down and they all want to support the cause, and they're all interested, and they're all sort of coming together for this, and hopefully it's going to be an absolutely fantastic day when it all comes down to it.
Right, Kieran, my final question to yourself today is, what does Stourbridge and football mean to you?
Ah, wow. What does Stourbridge mean to me? Um, it means everything. It's a place where Stourbridge Football Club is a place to me where I can just go down and nothing else really bothers me for not even 90 minutes. Like if I'm down there for 5 or so hours, it's absolutely fine. I can chill in the bar. I can meet people that I haven't met yet. I can meet people that I've known for ages, and we can all just chill and have a good time and just enjoy what life is about, right? Like just being in a nice environment where everyone gets on, and everyone's just calm with each other. Um, and yeah, I think Stourbridge is also a place for me that has helped me massively, and football as a whole has helped me massively. Becoming who I want to be, what I want to do, knowing what I want to do, and yeah, it's just brilliant. Something like that. Stourbridge is brilliant.
I think that's a good enough way to sum it up. I mean, I was expecting the jumper to start coming off and just Stourbridge to be written across the chest, or
Yeah.
something, or like a cheeky little flag or a scarf to come out. But no, I think you've summed
No, yeah, I should have done that. Yeah, poor planning from me.
but no, well, thank you so much for obviously taking the time out your day to answer my questions, and I'm sure it's obviously been interesting for all the viewers to hear your insight on things. If you've got any social media that you wish to name drop, I think I'll quickly let you do that now, Mr. Kieran Jones.
Yeah, sure. If you wanna follow me, Kieran Jones 02, maybe, probably something like that. You can tell how many times I've done this. But yeah, obviously Stourbridge. If you're interested in Stourbridge, want to see some good content about a football club, go and follow us on loads of different social medias. Awareness for Andy's Man Club as well. I want to give a huge shout out to those pages. We've got it coming up 8th of July. No, it's not. Let's not get this wrong. 8th of July. No, 8th of June. Oh my God, my bad. Right, 8th of June. Ilkeston Town, which is sort of Nottingham, Derbyshire way. If anyone's around there, tickets are on sale now. They're literally a fiver. It's a bargain. So yeah, if anyone wants to get involved, sponsorships, we've got plenty of sponsorships as well. But yeah, if anyone wants to get involved like that with that, drop us a follow and stuff like that. It'd be massively appreciated. But yeah, there's all my shameless plugging out the way.
Shameless plug. Yeah, I'm sure I'll put links and stuff in the description.
Yeah,
So
thank you.
if you want to, feel free to go and obviously follow Kieran, and obviously take a look at all the amazing stuff that he does at Stourbridge, and obviously working on charity matches. But yeah, thank you again, Kieran, for all your time, and
No
I'm
problem.
sure that we'll connect again sometime in the future.
Yes, of course. Thank you.
All right, brilliant. I will see you all in the next one, guys. Until then, see you later.
Bash.